Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to this quick video about table of contents. Here are some of the headings that I have developed for this video. There's a main heading, there are some subheadings, then there's a table, also there's a figure. I will tell you how you can generate table of contents using MS Word, and then how you can develop list of tables and then list of figures. So let's begin. This one is the main heading for your chapter. Each chapter will have a main heading, so this one has to be heading 1. But then make sure that you follow the template of your final project, which suggests that this should be black, it should be 14, it should be Times New Roman and then bold, and it should be at the center of the page. So this is what you have to select or follow for the rest of the chapters as well. Now this is the subheading within chapter number 1. So this one will be for this we will select chapter heading 2. Now again you have to follow the directions given in the guideline for the template of final project. So this has to be black. Again the subheadings should be 12, unlike main heading which was 14. This has to be 12. This has to be Times New Roman again, and then this one should be bold. Now if you notice, the chapter number and heading number has been removed, but that's fine, you can repeat it on your own. So this first number represents the chapter number, which represents that this is chapter 1, and this one represents the number of the subheading. So suppose if this is chapter 4, this one would appear like this, and if it is heading 2 within chapter 4, this one would appear like this. But because this is chapter 1 and heading 1, so you have to select 1.1. Okay, there's an easier way instead of doing it individually, is that you select this heading, go to this option which is called Format Painter. This is in every Office or Word file. You have to select it, and then you have to bring your cursor at the top of whatever heading that you would like to change. So if you put the cursor on top of it, you will realize that it has copied the same format that we had for the first heading, which means that heading 2, black, font 12, Times New Roman, and then bold. All you have to do is just give it a number. Okay, this one would be 1.2. Now if you do it, suppose like this individually, it will take a lot of time. So if you focus, you have to do all of them individually, which is time consuming, right? So instead of that, you can do it simply like this. You have to put it on top of whatever heading you would like to change with the same format, and then follow it for all of them like this. Okay, sometimes Word does make mistakes. You have to confirm whether they have the same format or not. So just put the cursor on top of all the headings and just check like whether they are heading or not, because otherwise they will not appear in the table of contents. So you have to check them one by one. See, like this, you can just confirm it. Now all you have to do is do the numbering. This one would be 1.3, this 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, and then 1.7. Okay, now here we have a table. Now suppose this is the demographic variable or demographic of the respondents. So usually the demographic table appears in 4th chapter. So then you have to decide the chapter number. This one would be table 4, which means that this is in chapter 4, and then followed by which table it is. Suppose this is the first table of chapter 4, so then you have to select it like this. This number will represent that this is a table in chapter 4, and table 1. So then you have to put a colon and then mention the name of the table, which is demographic variable. Now what you have to do is select it and then go to heading 2, black, 12, Times New Roman, and then bold. Same thing you have to do for this figure. Now suppose this figure represents a theoretical framework. So as you know, usually theoretical frameworks appear in literature review, which is chapter 2. So this one would be 2.1, which means that this figure number 1 is in chapter 2. Name of the uh, the figure has to be written, and simply instead of doing the whole thing again, you have to just take the format painter and put it on this one. It will automatically shift or change into the heading that we want based on the template. Now let's do the table of contents once you're done with the whole heading things. Now, wherever you want to generate the list of tables or the table of contents, you have to put the cursor at that page. So this is the page that we would like to do the table of contents. So put the cursor here and then go to references. There's an option by the name of table of contents. So then you have to select either this one or this one. So let's select this one. You will see that it automatically generates table of contents, just like you had learned how to do the citation or list of references using Word file. So now according to the template, this one has to be in the center. Also it should be black, it should be 14 not 16, and this one should also be Times New Roman and bold. For the rest of them as well, you need to select Times New Roman. Here you can do it in here and then select 12. Now this was table of contents, right? And how you can do the list of tables. Now here, come to a separate page, write list of tables, list of figures. So I'm doing it just to save time. So select font 14, Times New Roman, bold, and then center. So then for the list of tables, all you have to do is bring the cursor um, here, and then come here and then take table 4, either cut it from here, the manual option, or just press Control and Z. So this will automatically Control plus Control and X. Here it will cut it, and then you can paste it under list of tables. So then, as you can see, this is in the form of blue and then underline. So remove the colors and then do not underline it. Now is the time for list of figures. Now again, take the list of figures to an absolutely separate page. Here, as you can see, this is a totally different page. Now for this one, for the list of figures, you have to do the same. Just go back to the table of contents. This time select figure. You just select this figure one. Okay, simply cut it. Well, let me do it again. You have to cut this, and then you have to come down and paste it under the list of references, list of figures. Again, this would be blue, so remove it and then remove the underline. This is how you're going to generate list of tables, table of contents, list of tables, and then list of figures. Make sure that each one of them start from a separate page. So now you can see that this one is also starting from a separate page. Now suppose, okay, take this one as well to a completely different and separate page. Do not think about that you have so much extra space. That's fine. List of tables, list of figures, and table of contents have to be on separate pages. Now suppose within this background of study, we have some subheadings within subheading. So suppose in the background of study, you found out two variables, which is customer satisfaction and then customer loyalty. Now you want to make sure that you clarify that these subheadings are part of background of study. So that's why this time you have to select heading 3. Once you select heading 3, you have to do the same that you had done for the correction of the format. So this one has to be black as well. Should be 12, should be Times New Roman, and then it should also be black. So this time you will write down that this is chapter 1, subheading 3, and then within subheading 3 this is heading 1. Do the same thing for the other one in the shorter form. So you will do it like this. So the numbering would be chapter 1, subheading 3, and this is heading 2 within subheading 3. Fine. So this is how you have to do. Now if you go back to the table of contents, this is not included in the table of contents. So the easier way, instead of doing the whole thing, is to update the table. You can see update entire table, and if you come back you can see that the new headings have also been um, incorporated within this table of contents. Now if you're wondering that this table and figure appeared again, so do not uh, worry about it, just remove them like this, because they are already copied within here. So then you don't have to do that again, so just remove it from there. It will not change anything in the list of tables and list of figures. So this is it. This is what you have to do. You have to repeat it for every chapter. So once you do for all the chapters, the headings, once they are specified, then it's very easy to develop the table of contents, list of figures, and then list of tables. Good luck.